Yo, what's up guys? It's Andrew from ProducerSociety.com. Today I'm going to show you the Xylophone. I'm going to show you where to get the Xylophone for Garageband and also some tricks for how to use it. So, if you use Garageband, you know that there's a few instruments that are kind of similar to it. You have the marimba and then the vibraphone. However, there is no Xylophone. So what you have to do is you have to get it from vstforfree.com, which is at this link in my article here. You click on that bad boy. That's going to take you exactly to where you get it. And this is the Xylophone, okay? So if you want to know how to install plugins, you can also find this article, how to install plugins, on my website, ProducerSociety.com. I run through everything, how to do it. It's a step-by-step tutorial. That way you don't get lost. It's very, very thorough. You're definitely not going to be confused, that's for sure. But anyway, so you got that all set up. You're good to go. The Xylophone is hooked up. Make sure that you restart your computer after you set it up. I find that usually for whatever reason you have to restart your computer in order for the plugins to show up in GarageBand. But anyway, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to open up GarageBand and we're going to bring up the Xylophone, and I'm just going to give you a tutorial of what it sounds like and so on and so forth. So here it is. All right. Well, first I'm going to turn the complex groove off. I'm going to turn that off. So you can see it sounds pretty good, right? Right now I have the reverb up and I also have the delay on. We'll turn that all off. I actually have a bunch of plugins set up on this right now just to make it sound as good as possible. But what we're going to do is we're going to bring up the Xylophone and I'm just going to show you the parameters of it. So you have three, right? You have your release, your dynamic, and then you have your volume. So as I said in the article, your release knob is going to control the degree at which the notes stop playing after you hit the note on the MIDI keyboard or your musical typing. So let's bring this up. Let's crank the release way down. Turn that way down. You see the way it does that? So like when you press the key, the moment you let off it, it's going to stop playing. However, if you crank it and then you hit it, you notice how it rings out. Now there's sustain. So that's essentially what the release is doing. I normally just keep it all the way cranked. I find that's probably the most realistic way that it would be in real life. So that's the way I have it. The dynamics, on the other hand, this is kind of controlling the degree of the sounds of I don't know how to say it, like the extraneous sounds that come when you play the note on a xylophone. So for instance, like the way that the little sticks are hitting the keys. So I'll show you right now. So let's crank the dynamic now. A much better way is to show you this way. So you go. Let's try that again without the dynamic. Let's try it again. You kind of notice that it just makes it a little bit more, I find realistic. That's what I say. And then this is your volume, right? Your volume is controlling the total output. So now it's extremely quiet. Let's crank it all the way up. Now it's obviously loud. So that's pretty much it for the parameters of the Xylophone. Other than that, that's it. There's three. So let's say you want to make it sound a little bit better. What I would do is first thing I would do is I'd put the reverb up a little bit. Then I would probably crank the ambience to around halfway as well. And then I would put the compressor on, and you can see the parameters of it right here. This is what I would set the compressor to. Here's the parameters. Now, if you look at the article, I have that all set up, right? I show you exactly how to set it up. So, where is it? Here's the compressor, right? Another thing I want to talk about is that you want to have the channel EQ on. I usually set it up to about this. You can see how I have it set up right here. As you notice, the vast majority of frequencies lie between 500 and 10,000 kilohertz, right? So you can just go ahead and attenuate all these frequencies in here because there's nothing really there anyway. And you can get rid of these hissing ones up here. Then you can just crank a little bit here and there, and then that's going to make it sound pretty good in my opinion. So make sure you check out the article. I have everything set up. That way, if I'm going too fast, you can just look at the article and use it as a frame of reference. And then another thing that I would do is I would put the stereo delay on, which I also have the parameters on the article. You can see how it's set up right here. I have that on. You notice that gives it a bit of delay. Now, on its own, frankly, it doesn't sound that good. But in the context of being coupled with a bunch of other instruments, it's gonna make it shine through the mix just a little bit. It's gonna sound good, you know. On its own, the delay sounds a little thick, but it's not gonna sound that way when you have it playing with other instruments. In fact, it's just gonna make it sound a little more prominent. It's gonna just make it sound a little bit better in the context of the other instruments. What's another thing I should mention here? Also, a great thing about GarageBand and a lot of these plugins is that you can use the Arpeggiator. So I use the complex chord groove as an example. You can see it down right here. And then so I'll show you what I mean. This is something that I recorded with it. So I'm going to play it for you right now. It's a D minor 7 and a C major 7 chord. It's kind of like something that Drake would have in one of his songs. They use a lot of minor 7 Dorian tonalities. That's actually a major 7, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of that, because frankly I don't like the way that sounds. You can already kind of envision how you would throw like a dance hall beat underneath that, in my opinion anyway. I think it kind of has that vibe to it. So, you know, obviously you can go through and you can experiment with all these different chord patterns. Frankly, you could turn it off if you don't like it. See how that sounds. Anyway, so that's just giving you a taste of what this thing sounds like. Other than that, so I ran through how to make it sound a little bit better. I showed you some tricks that you can use for it. Ultimately, that's kind of it, you know? That's pretty much it for the video. That's where the Xylophone is. You get it from VST for free. That's how you make it sound a little bit better. And I hope this was useful to you, you know? You know, as I've said in other tutorials, you can pretty much find everything you need for GarageBand. You don't... you know, if there's an instrument that you need to get your hands on, you can find it. If you're willing to spend money, you can find even better ones as well. But anyway, I'm going to sign out for today, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. All right? Peace.